like in the last election, opposition infiltrated 2.7 million votes. Those votes which they say opposition got were not, they never got those votes.
That man has ruled Uganda for 40 years. He's in charge of the army, the military, the security services. His son is literally the army chief of the country, and he's claiming the opposition rigged, which is, it beggars belief for a lot of people watching that.
Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up to our brother. I think should be it should be given a Ugandan passport. You know, in these times when you really have to ask in the room, will real journalism stand up? And if you ask that question in Uganda, in this particular moment, you won't get nobody standing up, let alone raise their hand. People like Larry Madowo are showing us what true journalism really means. Poking holes in Museveni's lies, holding him to account to what he says. He's traveled to Uganda, exposed the ruthlessness, the lawlessness, the unabated violence meted onto Museveni's political opponents, while many journalists in Uganda, not all, many, decided to look the other way, ignore, or actually be paid not to report about those events. It is really sad. Welcome to Mordecai Murisa Live.
You're watching Mordecai Marissa Live political commentary. Please consider subscribing to help grow Uganda's Voices of Struggle ecosystem. Thank you.
I cannot appreciate you enough for using your valuable time to always go on social media, break down things for people.
And yes, indeed, presenting to you from these United States of the America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you're watching me and at whatever time you might watch this conversation. My name is Mordecai Murisa once again. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we continue to follow up what's going on in Uganda in regards to the presidential election, where Museveni has been ruthlessly targeting his political opponent, and that's Bobi Wine. Yesterday, actually, I recorded this video today. I'm speaking in a future tense, just thinking that you might watch this video the following day. But hey, just within a few hours, Museveni made again a ridiculous claim that, you know, the opposition cheated with 2.7 million votes in the last election. This wasn't the first time Museveni makes this outrageous claim without any proof. Remember, I'll play you here a video where he says he's got all the proof, and it took him 5 years. He wasn't able to bring this proof to the courts of law to have these folks that he accuses of having cheated the election held accountable. But let's go on and see what Larry Madowo did here. Amazing, amazing reporting. He's been our secret Ugandan journalist reporting our trials and tribulations to the entire world. Let's go on here.
As we hold our general elections in Uganda, the world should be reminded that we're holding elections in the dark. Mm-hmm. The internet has been switched off across the country. This is done in order to facilitate the intended rigging of the regime.
So let's get the very latest from CNN's Larry Madowo in neighboring Kenya. The votes are still being counted, but I don't think anyone's holding their breath in terms of what the official result is expected to be. Larry.
That's right, Biana. President Yoweri Museveni is expected to win this election, but Bobi Wine said today on election day that they are winning this vote, but the security force...
Well, I think I need to say this before he actually goes into it. He says that President Museveni is expected to win this election. He doesn't necessarily mean through free and fair system. Absolutely not. Through rigging,
the military and the army will rig the vote in favor of President Yoweri Museveni, which is an interesting point because President Museveni claims that in the last election in 2021, he actually was the victim of vote rigging, that the opposition, Bobi Wine, essentially ballot stuffed. And that's why he explains Uganda has a system where the votes are counted immediately after polls close at the polling station so that it eliminates cheating. But this is what Yoweri Museveni said after he voted.
We thought it would eliminate cheating. And it can, but it depends on one thing, vigilance. The agents to really be vigilant. But many times the agents are not vigilant. They are not vigilant. So still, like in the last election, opposition infiltrated 2.7 million votes.
Remember the numbers. The opposition infiltrated 2.7 million votes. Okay.
Those votes which they say opposition got were not. They never got those votes.
That man has ruled Uganda for 40 years.
You know what that means, and he continues.
He's in charge of the army, the military, the security services. His son is literally the army chief of the country, and he's claiming the opposition rigged.
He's even laughing at that because he controls all the institutions. Ladies and gentlemen, the president of Uganda appoints the head of the Uganda Electoral Commission. He appoints the chief of our defense forces. He appoints the chief justice. He appoints, he influences every institution of government. The three co-equal branches of government, all, as we speak in Uganda, serve the interest of one man, Yoweri Museveni. But somehow, Bobi Wine, who is not popular, was able to cheat with 2.7 million votes. That's why he's like, it's ridiculous.
Which is, it beggars belief for a lot of people watching that. His government shut down the internet 2 days ago, ostensibly to avoid the spread of fake news, any chances of vote fraud, as well as any incitement or calls to violence. And that is the backdrop that the election is happening, where the opposition is already claiming that there's massive ballot stuffing happening and they don't expect the outcome to be representative of the wishes of the people of Uganda, Vienna.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 81 years old, making him more than double the age, the average Ugandan. And incredibly stunning. Quite.
Exactly. That's all you have to say, absolutely. Now, let me show you here. This was when Museveni made those ridiculous claims. Listen to what he says. Remember? He said the opposition rigged with 2.7 million votes. Okay.
Representing 35%. Now, Museveni says National Unity Platform cheated the elections.
I have now got all the evidence.
I've now got all the evidence. Okay?
That in the last election, NUP
NUP, Bobi Wine's political party, NUP, NUP.
cheated by 1 million votes.
Cheated by 1 million votes. So what is it? Is it 2.7? Is it 1 million votes? It doesn't make any sense. And then I'm going to show you on a separate setup where he comes up all with these numbers. Jeez. And this is his son, Muhoozi Kainerugaba, the chief of our defense forces.
I have the facts. NUP can take me to court, and the same seven has falsely accused them.
He says, I have the facts. You can take me to court. No, absolutely, because he knows what he's trying to do. He's got a presidential immunity. You cannot take him to courts of law. That's why Bobi Wine says, you know, put away your immunity and let's go to the courts of law. He won't. But to accuse the National Unity Platform of Bobi Wine to cheat with, I don't know, 2.7, 1 million. Lastly, let me try to show you when he was trying to cook these numbers. Listen to what he says.
But this time, last year, the 2021, they went further and printed their own fake ballot papers on Nkrumah Road. Then those were the 1 million. Then they imported from Dubai 1.7 million. So altogether they cheated 2.7 million.
Okay, on a separate, event, he says, some of them were printed in Uganda and others were imported into Uganda from Dubai. He's a liar, a charlatan, and he's not afraid to tell lies. You must admire, of course, not in a good way, but there's some perverted minds that would admire to tell lies unrestrained, like the way Museveni does. I don't know how he does it. And he continues to talk about how there's going to be cheating and stuff like that. This is the situation. On top of shutting down internet accessibility in Uganda, you have his government, his jack-booted thugs arresting people. This is NUP Deputy President for Western Uganda, Jacqueline Jolly Tukamushaba, was arrested today. That's Bobi Wine's deputy in Western Uganda. That's not all. When you go here, there's this gentleman, the NUP candidate for Mbarara City South, who went missing yesterday, hasn't shown up at his polling station to vote. There's still no one who has confirmed seeing him being taken, apart from a call he made to the NUP Secretariat saying he has been arrested. So that's the situation, that's the environment under which the NUP cheats. When they were voting in Uganda in the last election, Bobi Wine was placed under house arrest, his home besieged. How did he cheat? They keep on monitoring leaders from the NUP, but he comes out and says, oh, this is how you cheat. It doesn't really make any sense. It defies logic and reason. And absolutely should. This is a dictatorial regime that operates on propaganda, on misinformation, disinformation, on complete and utter lies. And this is very sad. All right, guys, you know the drill. Go on and subscribe to the feed. I would truly, truly appreciate. My name is Mordecai Murisa. I'll talk to you soon. I'm going to go sleep. I haven't slept. So I don't know what's going to happen while I'm sleeping, but I need to have some sleep, to catch some sleep. Okay? I've been having coffee and orange juice. I think my body's telling me, hey, guy, you need to rest a little bit. So talk to you later. For now, bye-bye.
Did you enjoy what you just watched?
I'm sure they did.
I'm going to guess that you did. How about you consider subscribing to Mordecai Marissa Live YouTube channel? Thank you.